gosh. All right. Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Dusu. Sorry for the I don't know what that was. Okay, so welcome to my channel. This is Dusu. I am just here to yap today. So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, as the YouTubers say. So I just wanted to do a really quick video because I am just coming off of doing a show a couple weeks ago, and a lot of things have been happening with like my reverse diet and factoring all of that and my hormones. I wanted to talk a little bit about hormones, reverse diet, my season, my year, and maybe what's next. Maybe. Okay. All right, so I just did my first national show. Yay! First national show, which was the Ben Reader back in November. Are we still in November? No, we're in December. We're in December. Okay, so I did my first national show. I am really excited about the placing that I got. I know a lot of people will be like, I didn't get the right placing. Well, I got a placing, okay? I got first call outs. I got a placing. I came in second, okay? So I'm not mad about it. So just going back to all of that, I think I had a great season this year. Overall, I did 4 shows, great placings. I'm going into off season. And because I'm going into off season, the point and the purpose of this video is to talk about reverse dieting and hormones. Yay! So when I stepped off stage, I was like, I'm going to nail my reverse. I'm going to have I'm going to slowly increase my calories, yada yada yada. Do you guys think that happened? Do you guys think that happened? No. I have put on weight. Okay, let me actually roll back a little bit and let me talk about what reverse dieting is. Okay, so if you're a bodybuilder, you already know what it is. If you're not, here's a little summary of reverse dieting. So for bodybuilders, we go through a phase of like cutting down our body weight and body fat, building muscle and all of that. So that depends on how long your prep is. Usually preps are 20 weeks. We go down, cut down the calories, cut down the fats, cut down all of that so you can get as conditioned as you can. Now, that's how we get so lean on the stage, okay? And when we get down that low, to get back up, we have to ease into eating again, because if you don't, you start adding the body fat really rapidly, especially if you're eating junk food, if you're eating candy, all this processed food, they just stack up real fast if you're not careful. I was not careful. Okay, so usually you'll see when bodybuilders step off stage, and then the following week or so they'll do like a post and say up 2 pounds from stage weight, which I don't go by that. I do not compare my weight to stage weight, and I say this because during peak week we do a lot of manipulation, right? So we manipulate our water, we manipulate our sodium, we manipulate our carbs. These are things, they matter a lot. So you can see somebody drop like 6 to 10 pounds during peak week. So I always go off the weight that I started my peak week at instead of the stage weight, because that is not real weight to me. For example, I started my peak week this time, I think it was like 134, and my stage weight was 129. That's in a span of like 6 to 7 days. I dropped from 134 to 129. And then when I stepped off stage, and within 2 or 3 days, I was at 142. Yeah, exactly. So I go based off of the peak week weight. And because your body's not used to having like sodium, fats, oils, all this stuff, as soon as you start feeding it, it goes haywire. Right? So it holds on to everything. The sodium gets pulled into your muscles, the water. This is when you see us get all puffy. I'm still puffy. And we have like indigestion, our hormones are all over the place for my girls. So it's a lot of different things going on with our body. Usually bodybuilders are uncomfortable during this time frame because one, your body's going to get soft as soon as you start eating. And it's normal. We're not programmed or conditioned or meant to be stage lean all the time. It's not healthy. Now, if you have another show coming up or something else, maybe you can stay stage lean. If that's your preference, that's your preference. But staying stage lean all the time is wild, especially as women. And I'll talk about that. Like, I'm a girl, I have hormones and all of that. So you hear a lot of females talk about they lose their cycle when they're in prep. Why do you think that is? Our hormones are like out of whack. They don't even know what's going on. So because our body fat's so low, a lot of women lose their cycle. I didn't. I actually is the opposite for me. My first prep, I got my cycle every week or every 10 days. And then my cycles have been regular for this prep and the last couple preps. And now that I'm done with prep, my cycle is late. So mine is opposite. But hormones play a huge factor in how all of this affects your body. And I want to talk about that because when I was in prep, right, there was a week where I weighed maybe like 142. It was 142. Overnight, my scale shot up to 149. And I didn't freak out. I was just like, okay, like what's going on? So I took a look at my calendar and all of that, and I confirmed that my cycle was starting the following week. So instead of sitting there crying about it, I just was like, okay, like this is what's happening. I literally look like a inflatable, like, you know how like you can take like a helium pump and pump it into like the balloons. My stomach was like poking out. I was inflamed. My legs were huge, all of that. But I knew that it was temporary. So a lot of this stuff is temporary. And then going back to the reverse diet, since I've already kind of messed up my reverse right now, I know what to do. I know that I need to lock back in, go back to eating clean, probably reduce my calories, like not eat like a mad woman, and just take it from there. So I think that the most important thing is, one, if you mess up your reverse, be kind to yourself. It happens. It's happened to everyone. It's happened to the pros. It's happened to the amateurs. It happens. You're human. Now you don't have a show that you're like, oh, I have a deadline. I have to hit the stage at this time. And then once that sugar hits your taste buds, it's like, wow, this is real, and you just go crazy with eating. So it's normal. But the good thing is you have the discipline. You know what to do to get back to a place where you're comfortable. And I want that to be like, what you take from this is that you don't have to settle into, well, I messed up my reverse, so I'm just going to keep binging. The scale went up, so I'm just going to like forget about it and just let it keep going up. And the scale, honestly, is something that we can use as a guide, but should not be our end all be all, because any little thing can affect the scale. Say you're stressed and your cortisol level goes up, guess what? That scale is going up, all right? You put on muscle mass, that scale is going up. So it might not look like you're losing weight, but you're actually losing fat and putting on muscle. So I don't want the scale to be your holy grail. And I had to get out of that mindset. I had to approach it from like a positive mindset. And that's the same thing with food. I think that a lot of us have like a really terrible relationship with food, especially in a society where there's snacks, there's fast foods, there's brunches, there's a new restaurant opening every week. And I'm just like, why? Why do we need another restaurant? But it's kind of ingrained in our culture and in our societies. We have to build a healthy relationship with food, right? And I am working on this. I want you guys to work on this, but I definitely want you to think about like, how does my hormone our hormones affect my body. As women, I want us to be kinder. And then also think about like weight spikes. You're going to have weight spikes during the month. It's always going to fluctuate. You just have to like tap. I don't want to use the word tap, but you just have to stay grounded. Find ways that can distract you, or maybe make you feel comfortable with being you and being yourself and being in that body that you're in, because that's the only body you're going to have. I think that a lot of us are uncomfortable in the bodies that we have, but also if you're uncomfortable in the body that you have, right, and you know the steps to take to get to a comfortable point, take those steps. A lot of us make excuses to avoid the source of our uncomfortableness, right? I don't want to go to the gym because I don't have time. You have time. We make time for what we want, so you have time. Oh, I don't want to go here because I feel uncomfortable. People are going to stare at me. Go to a private gym. Go to a smaller gym. Go to a female-only gym. I don't think most men like suffer from that. But if you do, like, go to a smaller gym, go to a private gym. Maybe your apartment has a gym. Go at a different time. But I think that a lot of us make excuses for things instead of just finding a resolution. And we just need to cut the crap. We just need to cut the crap. When I stepped off stage in June, I was like, okay, like, I know I'm gonna do a show at the end of the year, so I'm just gonna keep it nice and cute, nice and sweet. And I was nice and sweet until I took a trip to Mexico. I came back and I was nearly 160 pounds. So I put on almost 30 pounds from my show in June to like the end of August, and I had to cut back down. And once I noticed that and I saw it, I was like, cool, I know what to do. I know how to start going into a caloric deficit. I know what foods I need to eat. I know what foods give me indigestion. I know what foods make me bloated. I know that I can show up for the people in my life at this point, but not at this point. Because I think a lot of people confuse them showing up for people in their lives while they're trying to improve themselves. Like, you don't have to completely shut people out. You don't have to be like, oh, well, I'm trying to improve myself, so I can't be there for you. No, that's selfish. That is selfish. It's fine to be selfish sometimes, okay? It's fine to be selfish sometimes, but you need to also prioritize things. You need to also show up for the people that show up for you. So pick and choose. Prioritize what's important to you. Keep that in mind when you're on the self-growth, self-worth, self-elevating journey, because once you get up to the elevated point, you don't want to be there alone. Okay, because I'm sure it's lonely. I'm sure it's lonely. So I just tapped into myself. I tapped into the people that I knew needed to be around me at that time. And I went to work. I literally was going to the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning to get my cardio in. I literally would turn things down, like, oh, I'm in prep for this, I can't show up for this if it's just like, let's go hang out for happy hour. But if it's somebody's birthday or a family event, I'm going to that because I need to be there for that, because those are the people that show up for me. Those are the people yelling my name. Those are the people celebrating me. So you cannot be that selfish that you remove all of that. So that is just my little yap for today, I think. I don't know. I feel like I had more to talk about, but maybe I did. I wanted to talk more about the reverse diet. So I am going to put myself back into a strict diet. And I actually want you guys to hold me to that, because I have been kind of like teetering in and out. But I know that if I keep going down this path, that I'm going to put on a lot of weight. And I don't want to put on a lot of weight. I want to put on weight, muscle weight, but not fat. And I'm already getting uncomfortable in how I look right now. So it's time to lock in, get my work done. And yeah, it's off season, so it's not going to be as brutal, but it's also off season is for building good weight, not just stacking on fat. So I don't believe in just like slacking off in off season. So I'm going to work. I'm going to put on as much muscle mass as I can. I want you guys to keep me accountable. But let me know in the comments if this video yapping was helpful at all. If not, and you just enjoyed hearing me talk, let me know as well. Let me know what else you would like me to talk about. I do have a few topics that I do want to talk about. My next episode or my next video is going to be about why I decided to self-coach and my experience with a coach. So I will record that. I'll post that soon. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all the fun YouTube stuff. Follow me on Instagram. That is where I'm most active. I kind of have tunnel vision with social media. So like if I post on Instagram, I only post on Instagram. And then if I post on TikTok, I'm only posting on TikTok. But I need to like diversify that a little bit. But I'm working on that. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great week. And I will check in soon.